Now, 2. Now, this is controversial because we really enjoyed 2, and a lot of people hate it. A lot of people think it's trash.
Dragon Age 2 is my... If I'm feeling any kind of sad, I will play Dragon Age 2. I've played Dragon Age 2 at least 35 times.
I haven't played that much, but I think... So, I like the freedom.
I don't even have to play all of it. I just have to play the bit where it gets to the part about Hawke telling that guy that there's like boneless women flopping through the streets. And I just lose it and just can't stop laughing for like 2 hours, and then that's enough.
Now, this is what I like. I like Dragon Age 2. You're a nobody.
Yeah.
Who
you're
essentially
fleeing the blight from Dragon Age 1.
You spray break.
Shit, I missed it. Why did I not take them off?
Dance break.
Okay, we're good.
So you're a nobody fleeing, and you're down on your luck. One of your siblings dies, depending on what class you choose.
Is either a sweetie or a dickhead.
Yeah.
Depending on what class you choose.
But it's like you get to this new town, and
everyone hates everything.
You pick up these ragtag band that we'll go into more detail later, and it's just like there's no pressure on you. You can do what you want. Yeah. You can say what you want. And there's something really fun about that.
I saw a meme on Tumblr the other day. It's like Dragon Age 1's companions are the old friends that you've had forever in school and you just met like going through. Dragon Age 2 is the like random ass group of friends that you made at uni when you were all drunk off your mind. And Dragon Age Inquisition's companions are the ones that you meet up with after work for a drink.
Literally. So, again, like, adding to the Renegade Paragon trigger, you got...
I was such a dick.
Like,
the worst thing was they added the sarcastic option. I cannot play Dragon Age 2 with it. I tried.
Never said anything.
I just can't not be sarcastic.
I never said anything that wasn't the sarcastic option, and that's not being dramatic. I literally chose it every single time.
Unless there wasn't one there.
Because it's too fun.
Yeah.
And instead of like Renegade Paragon actions, it was like Fenris just pull this guy's heart out, and then you wouldn't have to fight a battle.
The thing with Dragon Age 2 is, if you think about the storyline and what happens...
It's trash.
No, Dragon Age 2 is the darkest Dragon Age game.
Oh, definitely. Going back to Tumblr...
Your mum gets, murdered and cut up and reanimated, but it's also the most light-hearted and fun.
I saw this Tumblr post the other day, and it was like, Dragon Age 2, everything bad that happens to Hawke is outside of your control. Yeah. So, you could play that game and you could be 100% good. They don't really have, words for it in Dragon Age, do they?
No.
But, you could be 100% good, you can make all the right decisions, but all the tragic stuff that happens, it's canon, it's never going to change. Mm-hmm. So, Hawke has the...
I think that's what people didn't like, is the control was taken from them.
But, I don't know, I think...
But
it was just fun. There was no pressure.
It was interesting for me because the focus wasn't on so much on making the decisions. It was on the consequences of not being able to make the decisions.
Definitely.
And how the decisions you made were how you dealt with the consequences rather than causing the consequences.
That one is the one where your party is the most sensitive.
Yeah, for sure.
So if we go into the party and then we'll explain people's reasons.
We'll start with Aveline because she's the first one you get and she's also the one that will stick by you unless you really piss her off like I did and she punches you in the face.
Aveline's not boring, she's safe. She's she tries to
She's the mum friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She tries to steer you in the right direction, but she doesn't necessarily turn on you if you make some bad decisions. She's kind of
unless you're straight up evil.
Yeah.
She doesn't turn on you and she's Hawke could walk up to her and be like, I fucked up again. She's like, I know.
Okay. Whatever.
I liked her quest when you had to
get her with that guy.
Get her with the guy.
Yeah. She's not a bad companion, but she's by no means the most interesting.
She's not someone I'd take with me, but I like that she's there.
Yeah. I agree with that. I don't think anyone in Dragon Age 2 is a bad companion. So Varric is obviously the MVP.
Varric is
the Dragon Age. That is exactly what I'm going to say. So Garrus, he's straight up your bro. He's like you and me. So you're coming you want to do this, and I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Yeah, that's
or
his life.
I've got an opinion, but it's really harsh.
Do you want to hear it? Yes,
Spin
I do.
it.
He's funny.
Yep. He can be serious.
Yes. He's just the right mix of everything that Hawke needs.
Yeah.
And him and Hawke's relationship is so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It is the shepherd, Garrus,
yeah,
like the bro, and that's what he's definitely the best.
And it was really important for me in Inquisition when Varric was announced as a companion, because I was like, it's just going to be like not Hawke.
That's what I thought too.
But like straight up, Varric pretty much tells you like, if it comes down to a decision between you and Hawke, I will pick Hawke, and you're like, okay,
standard.
I had full friendship with Varric, and I was like, I'm hurt but impressed.
I think I was worried about that too. I thought it's going to be weird because you're never going to have that bromance. But then you're a different character.
Yeah. You
play it different. So like my bro in that one was Cassandra.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really an issue.
Mm-hmm.
But like going back to Dragon Age 2, so Anders is back from Awakening.
And so is Justice.
Mishmashed together. We got some possession going on.
Yep.
Anders is just Win, but a dude.
Anders started out in Dragon Age 2 and he was like, I really want to help the mages because they're suffering, blah, 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 blah. And because he was getting so angry, he actually corrupted the spirit of justice into a demon of vengeance.
Yeah.
And ends up blowing up the church.
Yeah. And he tricks you into helping him do it as well.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
At the end of the game, you can choose whether to let him go or stab him.
See, I let him go.
I let him go because I couldn't bring myself to stab him,
Yeah,
and also I was
too.
banging him at the time.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair. So,
however, if you let him go, Sebastian then tries to invade Kirkwall.
Yeah, Sebastian's a DLC character. So he's like, I'm going to go and get my army and I'm going to come back and I'm going to invade. And he's like, you ain't going to do shit.
Because I'm going to install it.
You're a DLC character, like, you ain't going to do shit, literally.
Fenris,
he wasn't
what do you think about Fenris?
I've got mixed feelings about Fenris.
I really liked, as a character, I thought Fenris was really interesting.
Yeah.
Because he's an escaped slave.
From Tevinter.
Whose masters are pursuing him. And
he's got Lyrium branded into his skin, so he's got freaky powers.
Yeah, and it kind of like, you go to his like master's house in the first act of the game to try and kill his old master, and he's not there.
Free real estate!
Yeah, and Fenris is like, well, I guess I live here now. It's like, but he doesn't clean for like 7 years.
No.
And I'm like, this bothers me.
Because obviously me and Jake, like, straight on that Dragon Age. Anytime there's Dragon Age news, we just felt it in the force. So when they, like, announced Fenris, I was like, that's mine. That is free real estate, and that is mine. And, like, the first time I played the game, we had a rival man.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, like, the canon word for that?
So.
Or is that just something us on the
I think it's like
knows?
a fandom word, but...
Okay, so we banged, and then he turned on me at the end. I was so angry. I killed him. I struck him down so hard, and then at the end of the game, Varric's like telling the epilogue, and he's like, and Hawke and Fenris were together. And I'm like, unless I'm carrying his corpse around as a warning, we ain't. But I like how your romances cause ripples in the group. Yeah. So, like, because I was romancing Fenris, Anders is like, he's not good enough for you, you should romance me. And I'm like, no. And then, like, every, like, 2 days,
I won't be angry if you say no.
Yeah.
No. 50 rivalry points.
He's like, he's not good enough for you, you should leave him. I'm like, I should have listened, to be fair. But I didn't want Anders.
I was going to say, look, what are your options?
Literally, that was the thing. And I think he's a really good character.
Yeah.
Voiced by Gideon Emery. And his voice is amazing. I love Gideon Emery. So, I liked his character. And then, when I played it again, we had a romance. But I kind of preferred the rivalmance because it was more like, it fit more. Yeah. How I played Hawke and how he was, it fit more. Yeah. So I kind of like the rivalmance. But,
Then there's Meryl, who's a Dalish mage. She's recently come into blood magic.
Yeah.
She's trying to fix a mirror that's possessed by a demon, but she doesn't know it's possessed by a demon, so it kills all of her clan.
She's a bit...
odd.
Yeah, she's a bit... slow on the uptake.
My problem with Meryl is that she was like Tali was for me in Mass Effect 1. Like, she felt very young. Yeah.
Yeah. And when she's a romance option, that's weird.
It was weird.
Yeah. I think she's... I don't know, her whole story, the magic and whatever, it's like, with all the stuff you're dealing with,
You don't need
should
to add
know
into
that.
it. Yeah.
Like, it's like all the things that are going on and the Mage Templar War and all this and that. It's like she's part of the problem.
Yeah.
So no, just don't.
Because she's cute, everyone's like, oh, she can get away with it. I'm like,
no, she can't. No.
Isabella. I like big butts and I cannot lie.
This is the Morrigan, like this is the Morrigan situation. Yeah. You're like, Isabella's a bad bitch. I'm like, hey, Isabella.
Right, I love Isabella because I did bang her, and also, she's
welcome to my TED talk.
She's a pirate, so she don't care about anyone but herself because she's a pirate.
Fair.
And I don't understand why she doesn't wear trousers, but she's a pirate who doesn't wear trousers, and she comes to Kirkwall because she's stolen a holy book from the Kunari, and she's the reason the Kunari invade. If you're not good enough friends with her, she'll just leave. She'll just leave when the Kunari invade. End of. You never see her again. But because I was a friend, she comes back and she's like, she's got this book in her hand. She's like, so I've never done this whole being responsible thing before, but like, here's your book back. Don't kill me. And then the Kunari are like, let's take a prisoner. And I'm like, no. She's apologised for nearly causing a religious war. Leave my friend alone. And
oh my god.
Like, she has good character development.
She does. I don't like her. I don't straight up like her because every time I went to Fenris's house, she was always like leaving, and as she'd pass me, she'd give me this like look, and she'd like say things to me, and I'm like,
I also, my other favourite thing about Isabella was her and Aveline's friendship.
Yeah, that's pretty cute.
Because they're polar. They're both captains, but she's a guard captain and she's a pirate captain. They're like polar opposites, and like
somehow they bond.
Aveline's talking about when she's like got kids in the future, and she's like, I'd like to have like family meals, and Isabella's like, would I be invited? She's like, no, because then I'd have to explain to him what a whore is. And you're like, ooh, burn. They
do become friends in the end, though.
They're really good friends, but they're like, they've got good bands.
I don't know. I think again, it's the Morrigan vibe. It's like I'm the only bad bitch around here, so you can step off.
The last companions are like temporary companions. Bethany.
You know what? I think after like, I think you should have had the choice, or like the first time you choose who you are, you get
should like
the canon
in the fight. You should be able to go to one of them.
Because I always had her, and I don't know. I felt like it might have been because I was a warrior as well. No, but I thought like it'd be more like interesting if we were both like warriors and we were both like a bit like I wanted the bants with the brother rather than the sister who was
There's no bants with the brother though. There's just, why am I constantly in Hawke's shadow? Why does no one like me as much as Hawke?
Well, she was all like,
because I'm better than you.
What are you fighting a mage war for? And I'm like, bitch, you're a mage, I'm trying to help you. And she's like, but don't.
She's like, I'm happy in the circle being oppressed.
Like when you got her there with a giant like mage staff on her back, and Fenris comes down the stairs like, you seen any mages? And you're there like,
no.
Nah, family. I don't think I have. And Colin as well. Colin's like, you seen any mages? And you're like, no.
I'm there like with a staff in full mage robes, like just throwing fireballs at people. And he's like, have you seen any mages? And I'm like,
I love Colin so much.
Never.
We'll get to that later.
So like Bethany, my experiences of Bethany have been that she's alright.
Yeah, that's like,
she's like,
you expect the
she's a dependable
character.
sister.
You expect the sibling character to be like the most important one and the one that you got the most like bond with, but they never are in Bioware games, and they're just trash. And
Carver is just Carver's one of those that just his whole vibe is bashing his older brother.
Yeah,
and it's just like, okay.
You would have thought as well that maybe it would have gone on. I get you don't want too many of the same class, but like if you're a girl, you get to keep him. If you're a boy, you get to keep her. Just it would have been a bit more interesting than what I always got. It's my fault for playing the same character over and over again, like a scrub.
So we'll talk Delcy.
Sebastian was okay. He was
Exiled
fun.
Prince Delcy. It was 3 missions, I think.
Him as a character.
He was okay. He was a bit like brave and just.
He was Braveheart essentially.
Yeah.
Literally, that was it, wasn't it? It was just Braveheart.
So Sebastian is a Chantry brother, whose family were all murdered, and that left him in line to the throne of a nearby city. So he wants to find out like who killed his family and get revenge, which isn't the very churchly thing to do.
It's a
Sebastian.
Black Butler situation.
So he's like having a crisis, like, oh, I want revenge, but I also love Andraste. So
she will forgive me.
What is the truth? And then you can convince him to go whichever way you want. His last mission, Leliana's in it for a little bit. She's coming to like check Wagwan in Kirkwall. Am I down with the kids enough to say that? No. So yeah, that was his DLC. It was short and sweet. Legacy DLC. That one, your sister or brother gets kidnapped by the Carter dwarfs, and then like Varric's like, we should go and help. And then you go and
then Varric has to it's like, your sister's been kidnapped, we should go. And Hawke's there like,
okay,
do we need to?
And then you go and there's a whole thing involving like your dad going there 10 years earlier and doing like a blood sacrifice to seal this like ancient Darkspawn Magister called Corypheus away. We'll get to him later. My favourite thing about that DLC is when you're fighting Corypheus, Varric says something along the lines of, if he pulls a dragon out of his ass, I'm leaving. And then in the next game, he's got a dragon. Anyway.
Do you know what? When I played that, like, I took Fenris with me and I took whoever else. And Fenris didn't speak to me for the whole thing. And I'm like, we're banging, like, why aren't you speaking to me? And then, like, 2 weeks later, and I was like, this DLC is really weird. And then 2 weeks later, everyone on the internet's like, the Fenris dialogue's glitched in the DLC and he doesn't speak to you. We fixed it now. And I'm like, I don't want to play it again. Yeah. Like,
the end fight with Corypheus of that was harder than the end fight with Corypheus in Inquisition.
Literally.
And probably one of the hardest end of
the
boss
ending.
Fights.
Hang on.
How do I fix this? There we go.
The ending of that DLC is so stupid though. It's like, he's gone.
Yeah, like literally the camera zooms in on this Grey Warden's face, like, he's gone. I can feel that there is no presence here anymore.
You're just like, okay then, that's more shit for me to deal with in the next game. And it was.
It was. And then the last DLC was Mark of the Assassin, aka how do we get Felicia Day into our game. So you get this character called Talis, who's played by Felicia Day. Her voice acting was good. The character I just didn't like that much.
It was like
she was irritating.
Gimmick.
Yeah.
Her
character seemed to be, I'm Felicia Day, I'm in Dragon Age.
Yeah.
Look at me.
I suppose it like coincided with the guild and her like general like nerd persona.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
When she was like really popular a few years ago, that was when it happened. And like the DLC was enjoyable because you got to go to this party.
What did he call you? What did that French guy call you? Something about a chicken or a roost, what was it?
A Ferelden turnip.
I don't know where I got the rooster from, but yeah.
You have to go on like a wyvern hunt, and it ends up being like a big plot by the Kunari, and you find out that Talis is actually one of the Kunari. Yeah. She's a bit of a snake.
It just, I think, if it was anybody else, like if that was just a normal character, it would fit, but because it was her, it was weird.
Yeah.
And it was like, this DLC is made just
it was like, you know that one scene in Game of Thrones where Ed Sheeran's in it? I
don't watch it because it's trash.
In Game of Thrones Season 7 there's like a cameo by Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
But it literally takes you right out of the show and you're like, that's Ed Sheeran?
Yeah. I stopped watching it after like, I think I'd stopped at like Season 5, I just ain't got time.
And then there was a planned DLC for Dragon Age 2, but because it was received quite badly, wrongly, again, EA were like,
no.
Oh, shit. They were like, no.
We don't want to.
So they just incorporated it into the beginning of Inquisition.
That's fair. Yeah. That is fair. I think overall, you know how the best way I can like describe this
Dragon Age 2 is a hot mess.
Like Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Now, Lord of the Rings is epic, but if I want to sit down and watch Lord of the Rings, I've got to be in the mind frame to watch it. If I just want to put Hobbit on and just kind of sit there and chill, it's that kind of like,
for sure.
You're getting what you want, but it's not hard, and it's not, you haven't got to like sit there for hours, you just play it, it's fun, you can play Hawke however you want to play it, and nothing really bad that bad happens.
It does though, it's really dark and grim.
No, but I mean, like, you know.
But like any other game, you'd be playing it, if any other game was that dark, you'd be like, drained from playing it. But Dragon Age 2, you're like, that was really fun, let's do it again.
It just doesn't seem as heavy as the others. It's not as long.
But you've got like human sacrifices left, right and centre, like people being cut up, like deboned.
It's just like, it's just fun.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds really grim after what you just said. But, like, it's fun, and the character's really fun. She's the most fun to... he is the most fun to play. Mm. And, like, what we were saying beforehand, the party judgment is the worst in this.
Dragon Age 2 is that meme from Parks and Rec with April and Andy, where April's like, someone's gonna die, and then Andy's like, oh, fun!
Yeah. So, like, touching back on this, like, party judgment, we said it was really harsh, and then we never explained why. So now, like, we've talked about the companions, so, like, if you got Fenris with you and you side with the mage, he's like, bitch.
Yeah,
if you got Anders with you and you don't side with the mage, he's like, bitch.
At the end of the game, whether you side with the mages or the Templars, if you are not best friends or really bad rivals as well with anyone, they will turn on you. Like, if you side with the mages and you're only on, like, 25% friendship with Meryl, she'll try and fuck you up. She'll lose, but she'll try.
I think that, like, in a way, it makes the game a bit more spicy.
Like, the only ones who don't are, like, Aveline and Isabella. I just don't care.
I like that, though. I think it forces you
to interact,
to actually take a varied party, and it forces you to think about what you're about to do and use a bit of initiative, and then change your party based on that. Yeah. Where in all the others, you just like take over.
Like in Inquisition, it's got a similar system, but the characters in Inquisition actually talk about you behind your back and tell each other what you've done. So, like, you can do a quest and say you've not took Dorian with you. And if you do something that Dorian would have disapproved of, it does disapprove. It's just by a smaller amount.
Yeah, but in Dragon Age 2, nobody speaks to each other, so it's fine.
Yeah,
they all hate each other.
Pretty much.
Sorted. So the ending basically comes down to... What was the lady that was basically...
Meredith,
yeah. She kind of just looks like Flemeth, but in armour.
She's the head of the Templars, and then the head of the mages, Orsino. They're having an argument in the streets, and then Anders decides that that's the perfect time to blow up the church.
Yeah.
And then Meredith's being corrupted by a sword that's made from red lyrium, which drives you crazy. She snaps and she's like, I'm going to kill every single mage in the city. And then Hawke's like, whoa, no. And then Orsino is like, I've had enough of your shit, I'm going to kill every single Templar in the city. And Hawke's like, you're not.
Slowly roll though,
calm your shit, you're not helping. Hawke loses control of the situation and has... Orsino turns into one of the big flesh monsters from the Golems of Angrat DLC, and I don't know how or why.
Yeah, no, they never explained that.
No. So
it's magic shit.
You have to put him down, and then you have to put Meredith down.
Yeah, and then it's kind of like... Again, like... I felt like that was where the whole plot of Dragon Age was going, but after Inquisition I'm not so sure anymore.
No.
But it did seem significant. But at the same time, like, the fight's over and everyone's just like, guess it's sorted then? Like, we're going to love each other.
The last cutscene, I think, was one of the best setups that Bioware have ever done. When Cassandra, like, walks out and Leliana's there. She's like, we can't find the Warden. Have you found Hawke? And she's like, no. Leliana's like, but we need them for what's to come. And I'm like...
Literally. Oh my god.
And then the game just ends and I'm like...
Bitch.
Where's Dragon Age 3 at?
And then how many years did you wait in between?
It wasn't long, to be fair. It was only 3 years.
That's too long.
We've waited more now. Like...
If you like that video and want to see more like it, then click this playlist button here. If you happen to want to subscribe to us and check out all our content, then click this amazing, sexy button right here. Look how enticing it is. You know you want to click it. And if you're already subscribed to us, well then you are already an awesome human being.